Hey, what is going on, truth lovers? And welcome back to the courtroom. Okay, going straight into the old cross-examination, eh? Illegal entry. No, the lives! Damn it! And this is probably going to be the hardest case yet, you'd imagine. Right, what happened last time? Old Ryu said something like he knows everything they've said is a lie. So let's have a look. We're going to make it small hours. Door was open. Could be true. Okay, that's a bit weird. Heard a gunshot, and that's pretty dramatic body language. Very shifty eyes there. Never done nothing. Well, that's a double negative, so they did something. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think we want to start throwing things at them. Let's just get the pressing on. Here we are. Hold it! Tell me more immediately. The front door of Winterbanks was ajar, you say. What time of night was this? Because the murder was about 1 to half 1, right? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? Oh, well, I know. The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, me old mucker? You're eating in courtroom? Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. So we were inside at the time, and from what I vaguely recall, there was no gunshot while we were in there. We just found the bodies, right? Unless we heard the gunshot from outside and ran in. I can't quite remember.
And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Stop trying to sway the jury. That is pure conjecture.
Perhaps, but it changes nothing.
No, but you can't do that in court and then just be like, maybe.
These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder.
But what does this have to do with the government? Wasn't that his main gimmick for coming back to court?
Simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, that's what happened. Okay, it's like some kind of sign. Tell me more. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say. Don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looks just like our bruv. What? I said cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today. No sauce. Just chips. Okay, better tell me more. A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, he always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. He always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, I remember him saying that as well.
So you can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as a murder weapon.
I don't know. If we can somehow find some sort of powder residue or something. Hey, wasn't the calendar covered in blood with like a bullet hole in it? So yeah, maybe this phrase just here will end up getting disproven at some point. But yeah, for now it looks alright. Yes, my lord, we can.
And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused.
Wonderful. Damn, we're not getting anywhere for. Ah, this is the bit where his eyes looked slightly suspicious. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom?
If my learned friend is having any difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps the drawing would help.
Oh yeah, he hates Japanese, right? What an ass. As in the people, not the language. Well, he probably hates that as well. Right, who's this? Ah, him again.
Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom.
Okay. No one I love how it goes up because he's so short. And then here's because he's the person who's talking in the bottom left. Got you. Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see, boy.
And the door was in and behind a curtain and all.
That's right. Okay, so we're getting a lot of sort of mini cutscenes here, like this and the map and stuff. So maybe we are onto something here. I think we've only got one more thing to press, so safety by numbers, I guess. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, we're starting to sweat. We got something here. Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo.
Well, Nash, yeah, I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream.
What's he going to say? Fight or flight? Ah, yeah, just in a much posher way. Got you.
The timid flee gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former.
What does that mean? We're in court trying to fight for someone's life here. We are not cowards. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Okay, so we probably will have them here. Because... well, yeah, thieves admitting to going in somewhere, and then a gunshot happens, admitting to going even further in. They may well at some point have just been like, grab something on your way out, quick, Nash. No, I pressed the wrong button.
What do you think about this pair, Runo?
I think they're lying through their teeth, that's what I think. I'm gonna prove it. What is it?
Well, I'm not really sure. There's just something a bit funny about that prosecutor over there.
Wait, could this testimony be some sort of trap? Damn it! Okay, quick mash. Oh yeah. Get it done. Come on. Hold it! This has to be it, otherwise we're going to have to start chucking stuff at their face. And we're probably going to lose a lot of lives, because I don't have many ideas here. You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets.
What's that? Hands out of your pockets, got you? Aha, yeah.
So, with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say.
That's right, Governor. Nothing we hate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers.
We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lucy lockets.
So you'd clearly like us to believe. Come again.
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? Oh! These must be the guys... Yeah, I slightly remember now. Didn't we chase people out of the pawnbrokers and then lost them? Like almost as soon as we stepped out of the store. I forget why. Were they the people who shot, maybe? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Okay, yeah. Maybe it was them who hit the calendar then.
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say?
Hold on, wait, but can we be defending Gina? Because, I guess there's a huge conflict of interest of her being our mate. But if we were at the scene of the crime... interesting. It seems like the judge might not know all this just yet.
They fired a gun, you say?
Ah! Blimey, Governor!
You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway?
It was. Oh, Ringo's a little one, isn't it?
Why the bleeding Nora?
Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective. It was them who shot Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes. I did hear that, actually. There was a rumour he'd been rushed to hospital. The great Sholmes, that's beyond the pale. Oh, he's getting unhappy.
On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it.
But it wasn't Winterbank's gun, so it wasn't them who did the murder. So they are still technically valid witnesses, right?
The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
Okay, firearm found in possession of the Skulking Brothers upon their arrest, not l'arrest. There are signs that a single round was fired, so they only fired one bullet too. Victory sip, why?
Now, my learned Nipponese friend,
Yeah?
here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in this trial.
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not.
Yep, so we still have to prove it.
If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on.
Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Winterbanks that night. Ah, and they shot Sholmes.
What colour is Sholmes' blood?
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night?
Whoa, we can save here. I'm not sure I've ever clocked that before. So of course, guys, we will get a safety on, just in case. It's got to be the armband. Skullkin Brothers. So, there's ammo still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yeah, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in through Winterbank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Damn. That's a pretty creepy thing for a 10-year-old genius to say. So that's connected to that. Oh, we just exactly... Yeah, got ya. Anything else? It does not seem it. Okay. Wait, is this just a trick question? It may just be their gun, because their gun was fired in the shop and that would be the evidence. But we haven't exactly like dusted for prints or anything. Could it be the plan? No, if there was anything sort of indicated on the map that was like quite far... No, that wouldn't... No, it's nothing to do with them. Or Topsy, no. Government secret. Ah, to foreign agencies. Could that be the jury member? You never know. Don't think that's relevant. Or that, or that. This! That's it! Not that. Name unknown? Okay. It's gotta be that. Hopefully.
Take that!
Okay, music didn't stop, but the picture did pop up. The evidence is in this portfolio. Okay. Not the sort of shaking disapproval look like silly boy. So potentially.
Well, what on earth have you there, Counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains.
Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you.
Well, anyway, we analysed all of the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio.
And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord.
No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
Right, we won't save over that save just in case, and we're probably not going to load game even if we do lose a life. But let's just go for it. It's got to be this one.
Take that!
It was inside the shop, and it's blood we don't know, which is hopefully Sholmes. Even though, in my vague memory, Sholmes was facing more towards the door of Winterbank's body than the shop entrance. But, yeah, let's find out.
What is that? Explain!
It's a photo taken at Winterbank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. We haven't actually mentioned CCTV since it was first brought up while talking to Winterbank himself. So I wonder if that will come back into play at some point during this case.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there.
And it's even got the date, which is perfect. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winterbank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defence believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Nah! Okay. Why didn't he fall off the box? That would have been amazing.
Order! How does the prosecution stand, Zeeks?
Okay, he doesn't seem too furious, unless he decides to throw the glass now.
If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection.
What? Yeah, I kind of get the feeling we may... Oh, he did it anyway, sweet. I kind of get the feeling we may have missed the point if he's not raising any objections, but yeah.
But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes.
Okay.
Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally.
Oh yeah, it is called illegal entry.
And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Take it easy there, Governor. You're going to land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't going to get into them details. Tell him so, Keith. Set the brogue straight.
I have nothing to add.
So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew that their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. Okay.
It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude.
What? Oh, I wonder if he's going to say something like, you know, his ethics dictates that he can't betray the confidentiality. But, of course, he wants the case to steer towards the truth. What do you mean?
What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
To what fact do you refer, Zeeks?
As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes...
Oh, it couldn't possibly have gone through to the calendar.
Then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim.
But that's not what we're saying. We would just... You asked us to prove they were in the shop! What? Why are you taking that weird slant on things?
In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Winterbank at all.
Oh, so what's he going to do? Just try and rush them off the stand? Like, oh, if they got no connection, get off, quick! Quick, lads, run! So that's it. No, they're celebrating, quick! Don't let them get away. That's it, we didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Ash, we didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder.
Yeah, that's quite serious.
Quite a catalogue, eh, fellas?
We're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective Sholmes. It would seem the man patronised the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly.
Where's he going with this?
He appeared to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric, says who? Not me. Don't give me that look.
He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh, yo, Zeeks is bringing up the CCTV. That's probably quite bad if he's bringing it up. Damn. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption.
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device.
Every half an hour it automatically photos the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. As long as he was in there at the right time and hopefully was in there for more than 15 minutes. And even then, if he's got his back turned, it's like, shit, we didn't get his face.
The prosecution has obtained the photos taken by the device on the night in question.
Damn, there's loads. Okay, but we could just throw away... you never know, there could be a subtle difference, but you can essentially just throw the majority of them away.
As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion.
I've never seen that word before. I'll have to look that up.
Rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord.
Man, lucky Winterbank, because he was saying at the time, like, the paper for these cameras are bleeding me dry, mate. They're so expensive. I can't do this for much longer. But lucky he topped them up just before his death. Okay, weird angles to set them at. You think he'd kind of cross-section the room, but yeah.
If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour? I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
Cheeky. Hehe, that's a bit of Friar Tuck, eh, bruv? Friar Tuck meaning luck, of course. Lady Luck loves a skulking.
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
It's about 1 o'clock, they said, right? Eh? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? No, they're just going to say that because they know it's half-hour intervals. Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment.
Yeah, that is a pretty fatal flaw. In the device, I mean.
What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Right then, guys, we shall do that next time. So, some pretty sweet, delicious, juicy, and overall tasty progression done in this episode. But we will see where Van Zeeks is going with this. I'm sure it's going to be bad, because every time he opens his mouth, it's bad. But we'll find out next time how bad that is. So guys, if you like the looks of any of the suggested videos flooding your screen at this very second, check some of them out, but more importantly, let me know what you thought, because you know I love that feedback, honey. If you've missed any of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles adventure so far, then catch up. But the main thing is, guys, as always, I hope you're well, thanks for watching, and see you again next time.